Hi guys, Dave here. Dave's LFC Chats. The legend is with me. Jack Mac LFC in the house. Keith will follow me in later. Hopefully, come in for a little bit of chat because there's a lot to talk about. Jackie boy, how are you?
Not too bad, mate. Thank you very much for letting me come on. You've got a lot to talk about, and we'll get stuck in. Hopefully, every single one of you at home is keeping safe and well. Had a lovely tea, whatever he's had. Let us know what you had for your Instagram, like.
Do you know what I had? A nice diced chicken curry, fried rice and chips.
Nice. I had the chicken Kievs and jack potato on that.
Oh, nice. Oh, yes. Proper scout scran, as they call it. Scran, is it? Helen's in. Cedric Lopez is in. How are you, Helen? As usual, Helen's always in. I think she's becoming the new VIP in the chat. And Willow as well. How are you, Willow? I'll tell you what, guys, we have so much to talk about. Get your comments in. Hit the like button. Hit the sub button. You know what to do, baby. It's a big week for Liverpool. Okay, Jackie boy. Last night, we'll touch on last night, of course. Burnley, Liverpool. It was a bit of a squeaky bum time. I was a bit worried about this game. I was saying 2-1 would be tight. Now, it was a lot tighter. I thought the game was a lot tighter than the scoreline, to be fair. They had a few chances. But that 3-0 away is a clean sheet, 3 goals. It's huge. I thought that was a huge result last night.
Yeah, it was massive, one of Dave, and everyone. Back West Brom and Burnley back to back. It's ridiculous, and considering how difficult Liverpool have struggled. Not at the minute, because we at the back end of the season, our form's been incredible, but early on in the midway through the season, the low block side really frustrated. Jürgen and the lads, really, we struggled to really get that clear-cut and precise passing into the final third of the pitch. And it could have been a very different game, mate, but we've come into the form at the right time of the season, like we said, haven't we? Yeah,
I mean, 3-0 is almost a perfect result. Away from home, 3-0.
Goal difference as well, mate, isn't it?
It's that little bonus of the Ox goal in the 88th minute just sealed it, wasn't it? It was like the cherry on top of the cake, wasn't it? It was just, I mean, Phillips again was unbelievable. Clearance off the line, the goal, the header. I mean, the more I look at him, Jack, the more I think this Quebec deal is not going to go ahead. I really do. The more I look at him, it actually makes more sense to keep him now. He's done enough to stay there, especially if we beat Palace the weekend or get over the line. I think he's done enough. He's come up, he's stepped up, he's done the job. Klopp's put the faith in him, and he's paid back in spades. So for me, I can't see them signing Quebec if they're going to go for Kanate. I think it was one or the other, to be honest now. What do you think?
Yeah, before you do, 100%, mate. I think he's warranted that, given the form in which he showed. And Dejan Lovren, we really didn't replace him. But I think it depends. It comes down to that, doesn't it, Reds? If he's happy to be third or fourth choice. I know a couple of months ago, he was speaking to the press, really discussing his potential first team opportunities and whether they'd stay at the football club. But it will be interesting because if he is to move in the summer, Liverpool will get a pretty penny, but he won't come cheap. He's English. He's a very well established. He's very young as well, still in centre-back terms. So
do you know what you've just hit on the head there? And the reason why they won't sell him, he's English. For the quota, Jack, he fills it perfectly. Think about all the centre-backs. You've got Gomez is the only other centre-back who's English. Think about it.
Yeah.
All the others, Cameroon is Matip. I think he's he's actually got German descent or German residency. So let's say he's German anyway. You've got Van Dijk who's Dutch. You know what I mean? You've got Kabak who's Turkish. So if you can keep Phillips there, Gomez, there's your 2 English. I think it's making more sense as we talk about it.
Yeah, it saves Liverpool money. And FSG, considering that, well, we'll talk about
Don't go there.
We'll talk about the kit prices a bit later anyway. But
the new kit,
they love to save a bit of money here and there. As much as Jürgen spoke highly of Kabak since he's come in, Kabak's done fantastic since he's come in. For the young lad to really come into a massive club like Liverpool, a lot of players around Europe would have crippled under the pressure of representing a club at the stature of Liverpool Football Club, but he hasn't. And if he is to go to another club in Germany, Kabak, I think he goes with all our plaudits because he's very much impressed. It'd be interesting to see if he has impressed Liverpool and the hierarchy. If they do sign him, fantastic. Because I think the more centre-backs Liverpool have next season, the more better prepared we will be for any potential future injuries. Because this season's been crazy, but we need to make sure we've got proper squad depth within our squads, not just defence, midfield, and the attack and third as well.
No, we'll get into all that. I was just reading about last night. I just seen a message here. Question: how many times have you seen that Alisson goal? Oh my God, about 4,000 to be honest. Boy, Ben, absolutely. I mean, that goal will go down in history because, especially if we get top four. That's what I was saying last week. If that goal actually means something, it actually means, a means to an end. Okay, a goalkeeper scoring a last-minute winner will always mean something, especially in the circumstance with Alisson and the season he's having, his dad passing away and stuff. But it'll add extra spice and meaning to it if we get top four.
Yeah, definitely, mate. It was just, if we do get top four, it's I couldn't believe it, Dave. Like I was watching the stream.
We're not there yet, Jack. We're not there yet. One more game. One more game.
It was funny because my dad was ahead of me. He was listening to it on the radio. Obviously, the radio transmission is a lot more ahead of obviously televised stuff and that. And he comes in running in, screaming, going. I'm like, what? Well, obviously I knew we'd scored, but I didn't know who'd scored. He went to Alisson. I was like, what? I was like, has he absolutely whacked it up the pitch or something? And then you just see the ball get called for. I was like, no way.
It's crazy. It's been a crazy season. I mean, it's been an absolutely surreal Salvador Dali season. I mean, probably never have it. You'll never see the likes of it again. But I just hope we don't see the likes of it again, because I mean, if we do get top four, there's even a chance we could get third, by the way. But even if we get top four, I mean, to be so all over the shop and still get top four would be telling you something. I'll tell you.
Just how bad we were at the beginning and midway through the season, weren't we? There's no beating around the bush. We were shocking for large parts of this season.
I was worried, Jack. Yeah. I was worried about a recovery. Were you?
And the fact the amount of centre-back partnerships we've had. I'm telling you, if City had, well, they've got that much more money than sense, but any other club around Europe, it really cripple a lot of teams. And it's credit to Jürgen and obviously the players in which Reece and Nat as well coming into the squad, Fabinho when he did fill in. And I think Klopp is under the notion now of not to play Fabinho centre-back. I know he had to, obviously due to the injuries, mate, but you just miss so much when he doesn't play the heart at midfield. Yeah.
No, I mean, for me, I've seen it said a load of times about Klopp that he made a mistake playing Fabinho and playing Henderson at centre-half because we missed so much in the midfield. And look the way Thiago is ticking now when he has Fabinho beside him in the midfield. We did miss that, Jack. I don't think we would have lost as many games, especially that Anfield run, if we would have just stuck by the two centre-halves. And he obviously thought they weren't ready. That was a mistake, I think, looking back on it.
Yeah, I think it was. I think he'd have asked Klopp, and I think us as fans even questioned it. We're like, oh, you can't really. I think every Liverpool person connected probably went at when we see those two come in, Nat and Reece. We were like, oh, a bit like, would you go with the safe option? I think Klopp and us fans probably went with the safe option. Yeah. Play Fabinho there. He's played there against Lewandowski, and the season before he's got that ability. But as you said there, Dave, and we miss so much drive and the combination play between him, Fabinho and Thiago, they're striking up a very, very good partnership. I mean, is that like 7 wins out of like 8 or last 9 games?
I was just looking at a little 3-minute montage of Thiago from last night's game. It was on Twitter. A little montage. I mean, it was delicious. You know what I mean? It was like the dessert after the Chinese I had earlier, but it was lovely. And it just shows you, that's what I'm saying. These little dink balls, reverse balls, whip balls, straight to the feet, Jack. And you'll notice that he's a Spanish international. You know it with the continental players. When they play a ball forward, it's not just kicked forward. It's played forward onto your run. So you don't even have to move. Like you just don't have to break stride. You're onto the ball. It's smooth, fluid football, and that is huge for us. So I think that we're going to talk about the game the weekend as well. But before we talk about the game, obviously 3-0 last night. Obviously Phillips got man of the match for me. I mean, just for the goal, the clearance, just the way he's come on. Who stood out for you last night?
Yeah, Phillips, mate, and Reece as well. I think as much as Matt Phillips is getting a lot of plaudits, I think Reece He's 20 years old. 20 years old, and he's performing the way he is. Yes, he was getting dragged in and out a couple of times, but he's young. And even if he did make a mistake last night, and it meant something to him, but end of the day, he's getting hate on.
See that? Yeah. I didn't see much of that today. Actually, did you?
I didn't see that, Shay. But you'd always
No.
get the gang of muppets, really, in terms of every social media platform, whatever you talk about.
You get them everywhere. They might even be Liverpool fans. It could be anybody.
Yeah,
that's the problem with social media. It's anonymous. It could be anybody. You know what I mean? It could be United, Liverpool, Arsenal.
I think Reece deep down, they'll know every single fan around the world, Liverpool fan. We love him to bits, and it'd be interesting to see if Liverpool do strengthen, get Canate, even if we do get Kabak, push him out to a new promotion side, say a Bournemouth or a Norwich, put him into first team football, and really, if he does make mistakes at other promotion sides, he's allowed to make those mistakes. As obviously, as we mentioned, people are so quick. It's the thing, Liverpool's a pressure cooker. You're expected to win every single game. And the margin for error is literally like that every single game.
Well, I mean, like, obviously, right. So last night we got the win, got the 3 points, got the clean sheet. Obviously, huge game. That was like a semi. I've been saying it always. It's a semi-final, basically. Now the final on Sunday. But before we get to the big one on Sunday, which of course is the big one against Palace and Anfield, there's so much to talk about that game, and fans coming back and all this. But two other things that popped up today. Steven Gerrard was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Premier League Hall of Fame. Well, I knew it was going to happen, but they seem to be inducting everybody in real quick, don't they?
I think
Cantona as well.
I think. Oh, hopefully, you don't put any fans by Cantona. I might kick them again. But yeah, it's. I'm surprised you probably put me, you, and everyone in the comment section below at this rate.
You're in the YouTube LFC Fan Hall of Fame. That's what
no, start off. None of that. I couldn't give two.
But I mean, Stevie G. I mean, I've seen players before him, obviously, because I. Probably even older than Stevie G, but I mean, what a player he was. I mean, he basically won us the 05. He won us the FA Cup in 06. You would say everybody keeps talking about that famous slip. Was it in 14 against Chelsea? But
that's all like the keyboard 10-year-old warriors anyway. It's
FIFA boys.
The amount of disrespect that man gets. He carried Liverpool Football Club on his back for a good 10 to 15, probably even more years than that. It was literally him. He was surrounded by some dross. There's Alex Sissoko, Morenos, a lot of other players that can go on and on and on. But he fully does deserve it. He probably is one of the players that has gone down, greatest players never to have won a Premier League. He got very close, and everyone takes the mickey out of that. But even if you are the most bitterest fan of Liverpool, you've still got to admire his quality. Because it baffles me. I've just been reading all the comments to people on social media and that. Yes, if you take your blinkers off and you don't support Liverpool, that lad was absolute sheer quality. It was ridiculous what things he could do, and even better, he was a Scouse lad, someone that's grew up within Liverpool, grew up through the ranks, and it makes it even better. But and comparing Gerrard, Lampard, and Scholes. All three of them were very different as players. Obviously, Scholes was a bit more creative in terms of his passing ability, and Gerrard was the more mid-range bit of Scholes, but Lampard could go forward and behind. Obviously, Lampard was phenomenal in terms of the fox in the box for the goals anyway, but fully does deserve and warrant his position in that Hall of Fame. And I can't wait. Whatever the future holds for Stevie, anyway, it's going to be great. And everyone. Do you reckon anyone else will get indicted in that, Dave, or do you reckon it'll just be Stevie G?
I wouldn't just keep throwing people in it. The means if you start throwing people in too easy. You know that way. You have to be special to go in it. It's no use just throwing people in because they had a few games and scored an important goal. Eamon Kelly's a good point here. Fans represented on the board will have a veto. Great progress after the Super League debacle. I seen something today as well, Jack. So much news today. FSG said they'll cover any cost that the Super League, Super League, whatever you call it, I don't even want to call it or mention it again.
Rightly so.
They're going to cover it. Yeah, rightly so. But I mean, it's not going to jeopardize or come up against, you know, the way it's not going to come on the burden of LFC, basically.
Yeah.
And the other thing of Spirit of Shankly were involved as well, I think, with the. We've been talking about it for a while, putting a fan on the board, or some sort of representative of the fans onto all the teams' boards. And that looks like it's going to go ahead as well. What do you think?
Yeah, it's time will be the biggest teller, won't it, Reds? It's all right, FSG coming out, flashing beacons and lights on, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. Actions speak louder than words over time. And whether if FSG continue to make mistakes, you've done a lot of great stuff for Liverpool, and you've done mistakes like any big businesses and people in charge. Everyone is not perfect. People do make mistakes, and I think I do respect that now. Stepping back, obviously, FSG, the backlash, they understood eventually at long last, the fans. But it'd be great. How many will be, obviously, Spirit of Shankly and the great supporter groups in and around Liverpool and the world that represent the fans? How very much represented the fans will be, how much of a say when you're sat around a table of multi-billionaires and you haven't got a lot of money. It's like anything in life. You're not the little man or the little people that people within football think that the fans are. Time will be the biggest teller on in terms of, but it's a slight step in the right direction, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's absolutely great. I think it was inevitable after what happened. I mean, he had to do something, and you have to appease some sort of level or base of the fans, and that's one way you can do it. The other way, obviously, is money and try to do a good transfer window. I mean, that's what everyone will be looking. I know there's a lot of Mbappe talk. It seems to have reignited, Jack, this Mbappe talk, hasn't it? Especially today. I don't know about it. I'm not even. We could do a podcast on that. But let's just see, guys. But the other big news was the Liverpool home jersey. Now, I want your honest opinion on this, Jackie boy. I'll give you mine, but what do you think of the reveal of the new home jersey?
Shite.
Is it? Out of 10? Just out of 10?
Yeah, shite. Apologies for my language.
You don't like it? No, you obviously don't like it.
No, but at the end of the day, if it puts pennies in Liverpool's bank account, helps us sign players, they could be wearing any kit, as long as the results on the pitch matter and we see a muchly improved performance. But some of the designs, I think they've done it intentionally, so everyone can go and buy that yellow one. That yellow one's beautiful.
There's an ecru. There's a lovely turd. I think it's a turd with a collar. I don't know whether it's real or not. The ecru one, you know that one, like a creamy color. That looks nice.
Yeah. The away kit and the third kit are absolutely amazing compared to their home kit. They've done that intentionally. Absolutely.
Do you know why? Because they know the legacy fans will buy the home jersey.
Because guess what?
Legacy,
those kits are a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Means more money and revenue.
Stadium legacy fans.
The ones that they tried to fob off with all this Super League, it's not FSG that are buying the kits. It's all every goal, Matt going Reds and the fans around the world.
Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down or in the middle?
Thumbs down for me, mate. But as long as the Reds, as long as the Reds are winning on the pitch, mate, they could be in some Primark PJs or like painted red.
Yeah, true. At least it's red. But I don't know where they got that salmony pink color from. I just.
Basics.
What's that all about?
Even if it was white collar, mate, just keep it basic.
Yeah.
Sometimes in terms of design, basic it's safe. It's the safe option.
That's it. It's a lazy design.
Yeah,
it's lazy.
It's lazy. Yeah. You're telling me the amount of thousands of designers, mate, that they couldn't have come up with a better concept. Yeah. I know their contract is quite big. But it's almost like they will wheel off the better designs, the back end of the contract, when they need to renew and go, oh, we've created some nice designs for the last couple of years.
I looked at it, and I've looked at it deeper and had a good look at it, and it's not as bad as first impressions But it's lazy, as I said. I mean, it didn't need to be that lazy. 1 or 2 little changes would have been great. Like you said, like a white little pinstripe instead of being that weird colour.
White or even gold or something.
Like, look at the one behind me here. Look at that white one. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that 80s crown paint.
This is like one of my favourite tops, mate, just because of the colour. It's smart. It's basic. It's all like red. Liverpool's meant to be scary. Obviously, Shankly said about the kits. The kit colour and that. For red means danger to opposition teams.
We're getting a lot of people in, but different opinions on the. Seamus Moore says thumbs down. Liz says thumbs, or Cedric Lopez says thumbs up.
Yeah, like that.
Zachary Lee, I'm a fan of the new kit, like the peach accent and subtle pinstripes. I suppose you'd have to see it in the flesh. Like, you'd have to literally, it's hard because the colouring was weird in the video as well, apparently. It was all like a red hue, like weird.
Like anything, it'll look better in real life.
I think Willow agrees with you. Disgusting.
It's all right. Well, we can buy it and then colour it in with our markers, can't we, when we get home?
What do you drink? It's actually Coke Zero, baby. Coke Zero. I'll have a few Peroni the weekend if we get top 4. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. Weekend.
But Liz Golden, Cedric Lopez, Willow, Zachary, Mark, Forrest, Marco's in as well. So many people in. Great guys. Hit the like button. Share it, because the more people, this will be live on Twitter as well, and YouTube and Twitch, by the way, at Dave's LFC Chats. And as I say, guys, it's been a huge few days for Liverpool. Right up to, we beat Southampton by 2-0. Thiago in his first goal, that late goal. Then what happened for the United game? Was it on? Was it off? It was called off. Our old rivals going to Old Trafford, getting a 4-2 win. That was unbelievable.
Massive.
Then, and we still weren't there. We still weren't there. There was still work to be done. Big Sam, we'd go to West Brom, hear him crying, eating his gravy and chips at half time. So we got our 2-1. Alisson with an epic header, which will go down in history, of course. And then last night, 3-0 away to Burnley, which is tricky. We hadn't beaten them in the last 2, remember. 1-1, they beat us at Anfield 1-0. So that was lovely. And then this weekend, Jack, Crystal Palace at Anfield, 10,000. Is it 10,000 in the ground?
Yeah, 10,000 in the ground.
And Roy Hodgson here. Well, that's Roy Hodgson's last game, actually. What do you think? Roy Hodgson here. What do you think of the game?
Send Roy into retirement off the back of a 5-0, please. Just for what he done for our football club, the dross in which we had to sift through within. But Benteke, he's coming to form, and he loves a goal at Anfield, doesn't he? Obviously not for mostly Liverpool.
He scored last night, but they ultimately lost 3-1 to Arsenal. But there was 2 goals in injury time, I think, for Arsenal. So it was 1-1 going into end. It'll be a tough game. We just got to play like we've been playing. I think it'll be okay.
Crystal Palace, I think, will want to at least stop Liverpool, because I think that'll be a big incentive, because I know...
They've done it before, Jack.
Yeah,
they've done it before. The 3-3. The 3-3. Jesus Christ.
Oh, don't mention that, Dave. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Roy, I think he's surely got to retire, and I think unless he's like Doctor Who and he's like a Time Lord going back in time or something. But yeah, he must be about 19 now, Roy. It's mad how, obviously, he warrants a lot of respect in football anyway, because he's been around the block. Obviously, Switzerland's, he's not won a lot of trophies, but to have the longevity within football that man has, yes, the archaic football in which we were playing, probably the worst I've seen in my lifetime, as watching Liverpool in terms of under managers. But
to be fair, Jack, he hadn't got much to work with, had he? Look at the start. I think it's a famous picture at Anfield. You know, we all crouched down with a photograph.
I know what picture. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you would have got onto the team that day. Yeah. I mean,
that's why that's why we've all got to appreciate the good times, obviously, through the bad times as well. But some team that.
Helen Raybold wants to know where you got that mug from.
Oh, my auntie.
Chat Snack LFC night. A little bit of merchandise going on there, Jackie boy. I'll have to get one myself.
If it was money hungry, wanted to make money off YouTube and all that,
like some channels.
Yeah. I love speaking to Dave and every single one of you. Helen, it was my auntie that done that, Helen. It was made up. It was like a little Christmas present anyway. Obviously, I could do it for merch, but I'd rather everyone kept the money and obviously focus on feeding their families and put a roof over their heads as well. So, yeah.
Now, listen, obviously it's a huge game. It's a cup final, basically. I know people are doing connotations of if we draw, if we do this, we could actually lose the game 1-0 and still be qualified, by the way, if Leicester got beaten. Because +4 on them. But we can't go into it like that. We just got to go in and say, right, lads, cup final, 10,000 fans in, which will give us an absolute boost. I know Klopp's been talking about it. You could even hear it at the Burnley game, the fans in the background, couldn't you? When your man won 2 chances. So it will make a difference, I think. At Anfield, it's Crystal Palace. We owed them one, actually, to be fair, to get that 3-3 hoodoo out of the way. I think that'd be a perfect way to get rid of that as well with some sort of a win.
I think it's set up for Mane, isn't it, Dave? I imagine, obviously, the season.
Yeah, to finish the season with a few 1 or 2 goals would be lovely. Lovely.
I love nothing more for Mane. If he could get a couple of goals, helps us get that final nail in the coffin, really solidifies Liverpool's top 4 place now. When it'd be big for Mane, and obviously the Copa America, the South American lads will be playing this summer. I think 13th of June it starts. So I'm hoping, is the AFCON on this year, or is it the year after, everyone?
I think it's January or February, isn't it? Coming.
Yeah, I think so.
It's after Christmas,
I'm just hoping Mane just gets a good rest, relax, chill at home.
Yeah.
Obviously, still do your fitness, but he needs a rest, Dave. If there's one player in this Liverpool team that needs a rest, as much as the professional footballers and they hate getting left out, Sadio's played so many minutes, like our whole team has, but I think Sadio's literally had about a week off within the space of 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah. Do you know what it is, though? It's weird. Maybe in hindsight, that United game, I think Rory's tried to put that in there. The way it gave us a break and time to sit. We had a good gap between the Southampton game. Was it the Southampton game? Was the Southampton game?
Yeah, because United fucked up.
And United, regroup. Let's have a look what's going on. Other teams are dropping points around us, Jack. It mightn't have been the same. No way. So it might have helped us in hindsight. I mean, obviously it did. Historically, you can't go back in time, but I'm just saying, looking at it, I just think Sunday, we just approached the game the way we have the last 3 or 4. Play the strongest team we have. Salah's looking to get that golden boot, so he will be hungry on Sunday. There's no doubt about it. He'll be hungry.
There's me going to get Mane a couple of goals. Mane will be actually going, oh, shit, give it to him all.
Salah, you're almost guaranteeing him at least 1 goal against Palace on Sunday. So we just got to be at it from the minute. The fans will make us be at it. That's what's going to help as well. I mean, you don't know what you don't know what team's going to turn up. What Palace team? They're a good side when you want to turn up. You know what I mean?
Hopefully they're on the beach already. I think a lot of them will be. But Liverpool got professional, and just imagine everyone if we did beat Palace 7-0.
Oh, fuck off! Fuck off!
Don't
say that.
Now, imagine if we didn't beat them 7-0 early on in the season. The goal difference would be shocking.
Well, that's true, yeah. But then again, imagine we wouldn't have been beaten 7-2 by Villa. So, I mean, you can look at it loads of ways.
I suppose.
What's this retro limb saying? Is Genie sent off? Send off? Oh, Genie send off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's looking like that as well, isn't it?
If he puts in another captain's performance, I think I'll be made up as well.
If you got the winner in added time, you know what I mean? I mean, he'll be remembered. He'll be remembered for the Barca 4-0, of course. That'd be the big Genie game. Yeah, with the 2 goals.
Yeah, isn't it? There's been so many much worse footballers than Gini Wijnaldum. He's so underrated. Don't get me wrong, he's not on a level of Thiago in terms of quality on the ball, but he's a phenomenal footballer, and he was one of the very first players that Jurgen signed and really started the ball rolling. Got that goal against Middlesbrough in the win as well, Champions League football. There's so many great moments. Obviously, everyone talks about the big moments against Barca, obviously, but he's been a very big professional, and it's only normal for his level of performances to drop off because I think he would love nothing more than to have Liverpool to have offered him a contract. I think the contract would have been already done and sorted if Liverpool come to him and said, right, there you go. But whatever happens, he is leaving, but he's going to be going with a lot of big plaudits and every Liverpool fan around the world. And I tell you, whoever he goes to will be getting a very good footballer.
Yeah, he had a bit of a matrix glitch there. I think we're in the matrix. He had a little 3-second matrix glitch. Mr. Anderson, welcome back. Okay, so who else we got in here? Paul Greaves 80. Hello, Paul. How are you? He's from Liverpool. I think I've seen him on Twitter.
Hi, Paul.
I think. Listen, it's huge. I mean, this will be one of Klopp's best seasons, other than winning the league and the Champions League. You'd have to say, if we get top 4 Sunday afternoon, possibly even third, you never know. I take 4 right now. I'm not even worried about thirds. Just get into that mix, Champions League mix.
Yeah,
it'd be huge for the club. It'd be huge for the club, Jack. It'd be huge for the club. Huge for the club. You know what I mean? I was dreading that Europa League. I just, it was putting me in a bad humor. It really was the last 2 or 3 weeks.
It just derails any plans, really, doesn't it, Dave? Obviously, getting in the poll and the pull of Liverpool Football Club is big in itself. But the added help within recruiting players, if Liverpool wanted to buy a better quality of player, turn around and say, "Oh, we're playing in Europa League, but we're playing in Champions League." But it's still a massive ask, and we've just got to. I think that's what we've got to do next season, Dave. And I think we've been guilty of it this season. Focus one game at a time. I think that's what's really been missing through this whole team and the squads. When we won the league, it was Hendo. He didn't let the emotion, and he was so good at keeping great leadership from him. Every interview, I know it's boring, but one game at a time. And that's what we've got to do next season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But obviously this weekend, I would play the same team, Jack, as played. I mean, they've had a bit of a rest anyway. We had that big gap for the United game. They shouldn't be too bad. It's the last game. It's at Anfield. They want to play in front of a few fans. The adrenaline would get you over the bloody line there. I would play the same team unless there's knocks. I mean, we've no choice with the front three. I know there's an outside chance of Jota being on the bench, which would be nice as well, but I can't see it. I'd play the same team. I mean, Gini, Thiago, Fabinho, the back four is the back four. We've no choice with goalkeeper and the three amigos. Okay, you could say Millie could come in maybe, but Gini's last game, I just see the same team.
Yeah, I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change it, mate, unless possibly if you want to. Depends if Liverpool want to go out there from minute one and literally get in the faces of Crystal Palace, because you'd added that intensity really that Jimmy does offer when he does play for Liverpool anyway. It's remarkable, and I'm hoping he does get a contract extension, James Milner. I think he's got 1 year after this year, I think. But if Liverpool offer him a contract, he's more or less fitter than most of the 25-year-olds in that squad. But yeah, same lineup, Dave. Just go out there and do the business.
Ravi's talking about transfers, obviously, I'd say. Dave, which player next season do you think will make or break? For who will make or break for? It's so hard to say. I mean, these deals are already in the pipeline. This isn't done. We don't wait till the season ends to do the deal. These deals are already on the phone, probably even done, Jack. It's like 99%.
Yeah, Fabinho was done a good 6 to 12 months beforehand. And I think every single Liverpool fan around the world didn't even have an absolute Scooby-Doo that was going on. And then when he announced it, like he just walked into Mel Woods, signed, sorted, what a player.
Wow.
But it's
who would you like? I'm going to give you three. I'm going to give Jack and people in the comments as well. I'm going to give him 3 little wishes here. From Genie is out of the bottle. You have been granted 3 wishes, Sir Jack, for Liverpool next season. 3 dream transfers.
Well, if I'm on that committee, or if anyone's on that committee, I'd go and say, right, get Mbappe, Haaland, and Varane. Yeah, but that's it. Everyone's taking the mickey going.
You go for 2 strikers. You go for 2 forwards.
No, I was only joking.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. Who would you like?
It's for me. I know it's. I've said a couple of on people's podcasts as well. It's a bit different and a bit out there. Tony at Brentford. He's got 30 odd plus goals in the Championship. he's at that lower market that a lot of clubs, possibly a lot of Premier League clubs, will be sniffing around. Obviously, Aston Villa got a good relationship signing Ollie Watkins. He's not your household name, but Liverpool in the 60s and 70s, yes, football's progressed, but Liverpool were famous for getting players from the lower leagues and really promoting them. And Jurgen Klopp's literally the best manager in world football for developing and coaching players. I think he was a Peterborough as well, Tony, but he offers you a lot of assists as well. I think he's got 10 plus assists added to his 30, but it's an out there name, and I'm hoping Liverpool would possibly look at him, because it'd be so easy to say, yeah, I want Haaland and Mbappe, but I'd love a Tony at the right price. I think he'll be very expensive, but you can get him for about 25 to 30 million. He's quite young anyway, and he offers you a lot of goals, and he's a clinical finisher, something that Liverpool need.
I think retro Unilim, Mbappe, Sanchez, Koulibaly. Listen, I can actually see, Jack, one big signing, one like over 50 million. I could see one.
It depends if everyone buys the kits. Like, depends if everyone buys the kits. I think that's what FSG would want, everyone for buying to every single kit. But yeah, I think Sancho's going to be a weird one. By I mean, I say, if Liverpool, when we say we want to sign these players, in a bit retro, I don't mean if we sign one of these players that we're going to lose anyone. Why should we lose anyone? Yes, in the past,
bit of fringe players that have to go.
Yeah, we need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of Origi, get rid of Shaqiri. As much as we love them, we need to get rid of this notion of lovey-dovey. It's the results that matter on the pitch, and we need better quality. When you just look at Liverpool, have got the best 1 to 11 in the league, but City have got the best squad in the league. That's where Liverpool need to try and at least compete on the levels of really. Yes, we can't compete on the sheer amount. You literally got Mahrez and Bernardo Silva on the bench. We can't do that. But if you at least got one or two better quality, if you got Jota as well to come in and out. But yeah, I'd go for a Tony. It's difficult. Tony at Brentford, obviously, that was talking about before, as a striker. Defender, if Koulibaly was available. But
ahead of Konate, you think?
Konate, yeah. I mean, we'd definitely be getting Konate. If it's interesting, as we've already mentioned at the top of the show, the defensive. So Konate looks like it's more or less done. Get Nat Phillips signed to a new deal, if possible. And loan out Reece Williams if possible as well.
Yeah. Would you bring young Harvey Elliott back?
No.
Do you know what? I just don't think he'll get enough game time to come back. You know what I mean?
I'd happily send him to a loan to a Norwich, mate. I know Buendia.
Or a Bournemouth or something like that.
Yeah. So where he's guaranteed minutes, and make sure you write a contract down to say guaranteed X amount of starts in the Premier League. Because I think that's where his next step needs to be now. I know he's still 17, 18 years old, but he's got that quality, and he showed last season at Blackburn. He needs to make that step. And obviously, you look at the likes of Harry Wilson as well. I think he will be leaving in the summer. There's a lot of fringe players at Liverpool. It's the third player, if I had to pick one, Dave, off the top of my head, it's difficult.
Sancho?
Yes, at the right price, but I'm not paying 800.
The money's just going to be crazy. I think it's going to be something like Pastandaka, to be fair now, Jack.
Yeah, it's going to be a name that's under the radar. I haven't even looked at. Yeah.
Why not putting a few nice things in here? Today's relentless coverage of the game in, game out, throughout the season, especially his live reactions. He loves those live reactions. Why not? Thank you very much, my friend. And he's some nice words to say about you as well, Jack.
Oh
yeah. Out there.
Thank you very much. Massive credit to Jack Mack's contribution and support to this YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Why not? And thank you for Dave for letting me come on and all the Liverpool family out there. The more Liverpool channels, the better. And we're all one big family, really. Obviously, everyone's very busy doing all different content, but
there's so many channels, Jack. There's so many Liverpool channels.
It's great that FSG have got a lot of channels to watch.
So you must watch us.
Voice our concerns.
Ian, look at this one. Eamon Kelly, Ian Rush, Kenny Dalglish, and John Barnes. Well, take that, all right. That'd be some wish list.
What a bloody window that'd be. I wish I grew up. I know me dad.
I did, Jack.
Like John Barnes, was he better than Was he better than Mane?
Yeah,
Like,
John Barnes for me, the way
phenomenal.
the football was different, Jack. The pitches were bits and all, It was a different, and you could get hammered by players. Like, you could literally get nearly a leg taken off,
like,
and it wouldn't even be a yellow card. You know what I mean?
Imagine Virgil van Dijk and Hansen at the back.
Here's a good one from William Anchor. Hi, Dave and Jack. If you told me 10 games ago we get third, I'd slap you. Listen, if you told me 10 games ago we'd have possibility of getting third, I just wouldn't have believed you, full stop. You know what I mean?
What happened to the rest of the Prem? Yeah.
Yeah, well, John Moore, I think if Kane moves, it'll be a bad window. Everyone will start buying big. I can see Kane going, to be fair. I really could see Kane going.
It's going to be either Man City or United. I know I done a video, I think 2 nights ago, discussing I'd love Kane because I think it'd really suit Liverpool's style of play. The interchange between him and Son, but imagine him alongside like Jota, the Manes and the Salahs. But it will be a lot of money, and I don't think Liverpool would fork out that much because I think Levy, he's an absolute pain in the backside to deal with. You only have to look at when Luka Modric left for Real and Gareth Bale. He squeezes the living lights out of any transfer. But if he goes to City, Kane, I think then that's them winning the league. Because if Liverpool signed him, I think that'd be a massive incentive, really, and it really drives us on. He's a very good player, very, very good player.
Both you guys are great. We do have the best community. I'll tell you what makes the community. It's you guys in the comments. If you weren't in the comments or you weren't retweeting and hitting like buttons, we wouldn't be here, Jack. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely.
Well, I probably would. I'd talk to the bleeding wall. You know what I mean? That wall's going to get it on me later. That wall's behind me. But this channel is Boss, is Paul Greaves. Thanks very much, Paul. Check out Jackmark LFC as well. That's Boss as well. But I mean, it's been the weirdest season, I said. And it will just give us so much joy and so much, to be honest, it'll give us so much pride if we can get over the line Sunday, to be fair, Jack. It just will be, it'll be like winning a cup. It'll be basically like winning a cup.
As we mentioned, we've all watched Liverpool this season, and it was an absolute car crash from the get-go. Obviously, the amount of injuries, that Everton game, that frustrates me so much. The sheer audacity of those Everton players, really, to cripple our players. I know everyone takes the mickey on social media, but there were 2 shocking tackles, and it should have been 2 sentence off, really. But next season, there's a lot to build on. As we mentioned, Dave and everyone at home, this is good that we've got this back end of the season improvement, because that will set the precedent, really, and obviously the springboards for hopefully next season. As we mentioned, a couple of signings in, get a lot of the deadwood out, really improve that quality within the squad. And I can't wait. And I can't wait to see a fully fit squad with Thiago, Henderson, and Fabinho in that midfield. Jesus Christ, mate. That midfield will be ridiculous. Like,
William Anchor is John MC.
Oh, is it John Mack?
John, yeah. I was wondering who it was. John keeps changing his bloody name.
Yeah.
Must be hiding from the revenue, John. I hope Jota becomes the striker we need next season. I'll tell you what, if Jota can have an injury-free season, of course he'd be with Portugal in the Euros. I mean, he's been a lovely little bonus. Now, remember, he's got us some points with last-minute winners up until he got injured. So, you know what I mean?
He's probably the only player in that squad, apart from Salah, that's got that clinical nature. Like Dave and Eamon, when you watched Jota when he's fully fit, it's simple, but he's in the right place at the right time. How many times have we seen this season the ball flash across the box and we're like, where are you?
Helen's saying something nice there. I really enjoy you and Jack and Doug's channel. Doug from the Dugout Football channel, of course. Are you going live on Sunday? He says, why not? Do you know what? I might. Why not? I might if I can. But if the nerves, Jack, I'd be like this. Oh my God. And if that hadn't happened, wasn't meant to happen.
Well, you know, we're not doing a video.
I really want to go to sleep. I really want to go to sleep and wake up. Someone tap me in the shoulder. We're there. You know. Dave, are you watching the Liverpool show on Bits and Bob's channel at 10 tonight? Bits and Bobs. I've heard of Bits and Bobs. He actually follows me on Twitter. Bits and Bobs.
Yeah, we're tuning in, I think.
Yeah, we'll tune into that. VVD and Nat Phillips has got to be Mazza so good. I'll tell you what, Jack. There is a possibility because he can only get better with Van Dijk beside him.
Yeah, surely. He has
you
to.
know what I mean?
I think the combination player, imagine those two in the air, Christ almighty. You wouldn't have Burnley in the likes of Crystal Palace whacking up the ball to the big strikers, would you? It literally, the combination, it'd offer a lot more balance. And I think, but having Fabinho there, protecting those two, would literally not concede any goals next season.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I'm thinking Phillips is staying, and the fact we're not going to get Quebec. I think that's the reason. Plus, he's English, as I told you. So for quotas, for the English quota, player quota, say none, it's impossible to sell him. I can't see us selling him.
I was going to say,
why would we?
England fans or anyone out there, do you reckon he would be selected for Gareth Southgate? Nat Phillips? I know it's a crazy question. Probably he wouldn't, considering you've literally got the world's best right back not getting selected, and that just shows the level of Gareth Southgate's management. Like, he's a championship manager at best, who got lucky in Europe in the World Cup anyway. But the fact Trent has to go to the World Cup, if he doesn't, made up for overs because he can get a bit of a rest and chill.
Well, he isn't going, is he?
He's apparently supposedly, is it been announced now, or it's meant to be soon?
I thought it was announced the other day that he wasn't going.
If he doesn't go, it's an absolute car crash from Southgate, because I tell you, it will literally lack creativity within that England squad. I hate,
to be honest, Jack, I don't want him going. I want to have a bloody rest. It's just a personal thing for him. Obviously, he wants to go, and he's an English international and stuff like that. But to be fair, I don't want him going. I want him to be fresh and ready to rock in August.
Yeah,
let's be real.
He's got to be fully fit for next season, mate. Yeah.
I see Connor from the Cop Council. I actually sent you a link, Connor, if you want to pop in for 10 minutes. We're going to stay on for the hour, so what have you got? About 14 minutes left. If you want to pop in, Connor, the link is in Twitter DM. So, but I mean, listen, Jack, as I say, back to the game on Sunday, the big one. Just looking at the connotations, Chelsea have a tough one. I mean, Villa on their day, you just don't know what Villa are going to do.
They absolutely spanked Tottenham, didn't they, Villa? Yeah. It's going to be a lot of teams out there will love to spoil this party, won't they? How many times have we seen Liverpool, and obviously we mentioned Crystal Palace, all those years gone by, and if you do make it's surprisingly, you never know, Grealish could be going to Liverpool in the summer. It'd be if it was like La Liga, where it had incentives. Literally, the La Liga years ago, they used to the owners of the football clubs used to go into the changing rooms with big bags of money and briefcases and go, right, there you go. If you just win the game, you can win all this cash. And it would imagine if that happened in England.
I know, but I mean, the way I'm looking at it is, right, Chelsea are in, you have to say, the hot seat, because they're a point ahead of, they're on 67. We've got a +1 on them, but they've got a point ahead of us. We're level with Leicester, but we've +4 on that. That was huge last night. +4 on Leicester. They have to play Spurs at the King Power, which won't be easy. I know Spurs, you don't know what to expect from Spurs. They could turn up. Kane and Son could turn up, or else they could just get beat.
Goals, won't he?
Well, yeah, but you could say that last night and he didn't do it. So he's only got one more chance to do it, I suppose, one way of looking at it. And of course, Chelsea will be saying, I mean, will their eye be on the Champions League? I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'll have my eye on the three, obviously, Liverpool game, but you'll have your eye on the other two games, Shaq.
It's then be built up so much by Sky, innit? If only they actually done the last games free to air. The amount of people pay for, you'd think, oh, go on, give it free to air, the last game of the season, but obviously the greedy people within Sky and every platform does me head in. You'd think it'd make it more accessible for a lot of people around the world that can't have the facilities to pay for the match. But it's going to be one big spectacle, isn't it? As long as Liverpool do our job, Dave, focus on ourselves. I know everyone's been going, oh, what happens if other teams just let it be down to us to do our own job.
Oh yeah, no, listen, just clap on him. Listen, he's professional at this stage. We've won Champions Leagues, we've won leagues, we've been there, done that, check. And this reminds me of the 2016-2017 season where we had to win our last game against Middlesbrough. Remember the game at Anfield? I think we beat them 4-0, I think it was, or 3-0.
3-4-0,
yeah. And it got us Champions League football for the first time under Klopp, remember? And from then, a little legacy built. Obviously, we got to the final the following year in 2018, which ultimately we lost to Madrid 3-1. And then the following year, everybody knows what happened in the last 2-3 years.
If we can get into that, Dave, it's going to be massive next year. If Liverpool can get a full fit squad, especially if the big clubs like Real and the other clubs that are still in the Super League, if they get banned, you got no Juventus next season. Obviously, Bayern will still be in a massive club, but yeah, I think if Liverpool can get into the Champions League next season, we have got a very big possibility of winning the Champions League. Because as long as you miss and avoid, I think City have had a very easy run to the final. Don't get me wrong, they played a couple of big teams before them, but they've been nice, haven't they?
There's no fans. There's no fans there, Jack. There's no fans there, you know.
They're so used to playing with no fans, aren't they? So
it's going to be weird, the Champions League final, Chelsea City. It's going to be like a league game. It's going to be weird. You're rather watching different countries playing each other in a European final, really, don't you? I mean, if United as well in the Europa, I think that's next Wednesday. Villarreal. I'll tell you, the way United have been playing in the last 3-4 games, Villarreal have become they've dropped off. They've dropped off badly. I know Maguire's a big loss for them. But Villarreal, all of a sudden, I had United as out-now favourites. They're not that out-now anymore.
I am right. Is so experienced within European football, and it will be, and they're not a team that goes forwards. I think they'll very much frustrate Man United. Obviously, the first goal will be key. If United's got enough quality within that squad, but they're not amazing at the back. And I think if Gerard Moreno can play for Villarreal, I know he's had a decent season in La Liga this year, but I'm hoping an ideal scenario will be Villarreal win the Champions League and Chelsea.
Europa League?
Yeah, Europa League anyway. And obviously, as much as we hate Chelsea, Chelsea win over City because they can't be bothered with.
Well, the only thing for me for Man City is my father-in-law, who's 80, is a City fan since the 60s and 70s, and I'd like it to win for him, but other than that,
one of the original crowd.
He would have been there. He would have been there way back. So hasn't seen them lift the cup, and I think it'd be a good time for them to lift it for him. Our destiny is in our own hands. Fans back 3-0 on Sunday, says Jay. We got Firmino. I'd take 3-0. To be honest, I know it could go down to goal difference, but even if we won 1-0 against Palace, I think Leicester would have to win 4 or 5-0 against Spurs to have any chance, something like that.
Yeah.
Am I right saying that?
Yeah, very much. I think
it's a +4. Well, it's +4.
Yeah. So Liverpool score 2. Obviously, Leicester have to score 6 or 7 to really get over us.
And hope Spurs don't score. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so. All we do, play our game, get the results, and hopefully, what time? It's 4 kickoff. Hopefully by 5:50 or whatever, Sunday night, the Peroni be out, baby, and everybody be happy. But we just get the last few comments. We give it the Euro 7 minutes. We're 53 in. How many players are Liverpool sending to the Euros? I got a feeling it ain't too many. Could be good for us, says John. I don't know. I don't think there is a huge amount. I don't think because Henderson. I think Henderson's on sort of a. Obviously, he's been injured.
Rehabilitation program. I think Hendo's still on at the minute. They would want to bring Henderson, but at the end of the day, Jürgen turns around and goes no. I'm hoping Endo doesn't go away on his national duty because it just screams to me that if he went with England this summer, he'd get injured again. Yeah. And I think it's just literally Trent possibly. Obviously, Robbo's going with Scotland. That'd be massive for him leading his country. I'm hoping they go far because we all love Robbo anyway. Nat, Van Dijk, obviously not going. Gomez, that ruled out of England. So you're looking at Ginny, yes. Thiago, yes. Mo, obviously the AFCON in the future anyway, that's coming up soon. Yeah, it's literally 1 or 2 or 3 possibly, because half of them are injured. So it sounds.
which is good for us in a way, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you want them to have some sort of a rest, then you want them to have a pre-season, an uninterrupted pre-season, Jack.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't know what way friendlies will be. You probably won't have the American or Asian tours. I can't see that happening. I can just see local games like the likes of Tranmere. You know the way they play. Might even play in Ireland a game or two, which would be great for me. But I can't see them going further afield. You know, that way. I can't see it. Maybe France, you know, the way they go to the French cap.
We didn't have a proper pre-season, did we, last year? It was obviously with COVID going on. It was a bit surreal. I think it disrupted a lot of teams in Europe. But, yeah, fingers crossed, Paul. Hopefully, I tell you, that we made up if that was the scoreline.
I'm just saying that the French league is going down to the wire as well, isn't it? Lille, the great chance.
Lille win.
Oh,
so great. Yeah, it's great to see. Obviously, Sven Botman playing at the back there.
He is getting big plaudits at the moment. He's the one that they're saying has nearly got them to where they are.
Yeah,
that guy.
Obviously, Fonte, the ex. Because Southampton's defended anyway. I think I'm still under the influence. We signed the wrong Southampton centre back. Because I tell you, if we signed Fonte, I think we should have signed him instead of Dejan Lovren.
Well, listen, that's all hindsight. I'm open to a Villarreal upset, but I want United to win. I talked to you, Asian sensational, with a Liverpool fan. I obviously got that wrong. But Paul Greaves is saying 5-0. Reece Williams to score. Reece Williams. Yeah, well, listen.
Yeah.
5-0 now would be, pretty special. But to be honest,
a hat-trick and Alisson to get 2. Wait, what? Ali to get
well, Atletico have a great chance as well, don't they, to win the Spanish? It's lovely. The way that the season's finishing is, it's obviously our league was won by City fairly early, but
what do you think of Suarez going to Atleti, mate? Obviously, that was a big move by Barca, I think, and obviously Salah. Suarez, he's been phenomenal. As much as he's a pain in the backside for.
I'll tell you what, he was one of my favourite players at Liverpool. No matter what you say, he was just fucking. That guy was literally hungry at every game, biting people's shoulders off. That guy was just raring to go. Steve Richards, the national teams can fuck right off.
All the favourites say aye to see. Aye.
Steve, you're absolutely right there, buddy. You're absolutely right.
I can just imagine Jürgen just telling them to bringing them all up individually.
When is the England squad for Euros confirmed? I thought it was. Listen,
I think
obviously I'm wrong. It must be after the league's finished, maybe next week, is it?
I think it might be either tomorrow because something's saying that tomorrow, but hopefully it's soon as because we know who's going now.
Yeah, John MC is heading. We're going to go in a few minutes anyway, John. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, buddy. Spot on, John. Have a good night, lad.
Stephen Richards is saying City have a Premier League trophy on loan. It's ours next season. Love your style, baby. Love your style. Just came here to prove to you how shit Salah is. He missed 2 sitters yesterday. Oh, this is Mahmoud from Egypt who hates Salah. Oh, he was on the other night, yeah. The Egyptian fan, yeah. Well, I don't think he hates Salah, but you know what I mean. Listen, Salah's probably got a top goal scorer.
He's going for his 3rd golden boot in the Prem. And obviously he'll be one behind the great Thierry Henry. And I tell you, I'm hoping he does eclipse Thierry Henry's record because he's a phenomenal footballer. Oh, yeah. But one season wonder apparently, so yeah.
Absolutely. Right, guys, we're going to give it another minute or two. We're going to sign off. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, hit the share button, hit the button. It's Christmas. Okay, the big game on Sunday, Liverpool Palace. We're going to get a little score prediction, Jackie boy, even maybe the goal scorers if you want. I'm going to go 2-0 to Liverpool. Mane in the mirror to get a goal and Mo Salah to get a goal to hopefully finish top goal scorer. But 2-0, I'll take it all day. What do you think?
You know what I'm going to say, Dave, don't you? What I've been saying.
Don't go 25-0 or something. Come on.
No. I'm going for a draw. And I've been saying a draw. It's good luck, touch wood. Every single time I've said it's a draw. I said it against United, win. Said it against West Brom, win. Said it against Burnley, win. So I'm going to go with a draw for Liverpool. Salah to get a goal and Crystal Palace, Benteke. So.
Well, he's getting a few goals.
Obviously, I want us to absolutely smash them, but I'm just sticking with my luck.
I don't think a draw would be good enough for Liverpool. I think we need to win the game.
Obviously, yeah. But
The other two before we go, we just do quick score lines on the Villa Chelsea. I think this could be a draw. I think this could be a 1-1.
Yeah, Villa will want to upset them, and I think City and Chelsea in the league have been absolutely atrocious the last couple of weeks. Especially, imagine it. I swear, if Liverpool somehow get third position, that'd be mad. After the season that we've had,
crazy.
Means extra money for Mbappe. So yeah, finish for third.
Absolutely. What are you saying? What score? 1-1. 1-1.
Villa 2-1. Yeah,
Villa to beat Chelsea. Okay. And the other game that's important for us, of course, is Leicester City against Spurs. I think Spurs. I think Leicester will beat them, but it won't be by the 3 or 4 goals they need to beat them. I think they'll beat them probably 2-1 or 2-0. But once we win our game, it'll be enough,
Yeah, I'm going to say draw because I think Harry Kane, as much as he's not winning trophies at Spurs, he wants to win at least something. The Golden Boots. I think he'll be fired up. Yeah. Son will be fired up as well. And if he wants to go out in a bang, if I'm hoping that Salah does win the Golden Boots anyway.
The lads from 1892 Reds podcast are in the house as well. Thanks for popping in. We're actually going to go now in a minute or two, lads, but check them out on YouTube. Top of the range content as well, guys. It's been great. I've enjoyed it. It's been brilliant. Liverpool to beat Palace on the weekend. I'm saying, it doesn't matter what the scoreline is, to be fair. I'm saying 2-0, but just win it. Get into the top 4, and it will be a decent season at the end of it.
Then we can just sit back, relax, and just go, thank fuck, that is over.
And we can all just relax and enjoy Sunday night and the rest of it. We can all just actually have a look at the Euros and then just check out the transfers coming in and going out and all that does happen.
That'd be transfer silly season there.
I just see here something as well. 1892 podcast are on Doug's channel at 9. Check them out. Is it on Doug's channel at 9 o'clock tonight? Doug Football, or is it Dugout Football Channel? Sorry. Dugout Football Channel on YouTube at 9 tonight. So check that out, guys. Lads, it's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for coming in. Hit the like button.
Me on, Dave.
Hit the subs button. Check out Jackie Boy, Jack Mac LFC on YouTube as usual. I'm going to probably do something else, maybe tomorrow or Saturday with Keith. Jack, or if you're around, you can pop in. We might do another little 1-2 uni film. But it's huge Sunday, guys. Looking forward to it. Let's do it. One more game for Liverpool. One more win. This means more. Stay safe, guys. Let's go.